Hey there, everybody. It's Eternal Snowman here for another episode of BLT Recap and Analysis, and I'm here today with um, another team and another replay, which will be BLT Week 7, which is the last week of regular play. And going into this week, my team, the the Dens, the only way we would not qualify for the playoffs was we would have to lose, as well as both the Mawiles, the Clefables, or no, the Mawiles, the Hydreigons, and um, um, the Mawiles, the Hydreigons, and the uh, Clefables all to win their, or no, the Mawiles and the Hydreigons had to win their matches, and the Clefables had to win two more matches. No. They had to uh, win. They had to win um, two less matches, or one less match than us, or something like that. But anyway, the point is that it was pretty unlikely that we weren't going to qualify, so wasn't too worried about this week. But I still want to win. So there are actually two teams here that I want to go over, and then the reason why I brought that specific team. So we'll go through this team first, the one that I didn't bring. Um, so this is a double specs offense, um, and essentially the idea behind the team is abusing the power behind Xerneas and Yveltal, raw power with the specs, which is pretty unexpected. It's very strong to Pokemon, especially the Dark Pulse and the Moonblast, respectively. Heat Wave, Oblivion Wing gives Yveltal nice sustain as well, allowing it to come in on Primal Groudon pretty much whenever it wants. Focus Blast hits T-Tar, while Heat Wave hits Klefki and Mawile, which is pretty important. And then the HP Ground is good for bopping Pidon, weakened Pidon, and Thunder is good for Primal Kyogre as well as Ho-Oh. Giratina offers a good way of beating Ho-Oh and Primal Groudon, as well as being a defogger. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough. I choose to use the physical one because it's much easier to prevent setup on the physical with T-Wave. Since Dragon Tail is much better, standard EVs all around the board. I choose to use Modest on Xerneas because the Moonblast hurts a little bit more on the resisted Pokemon, which is one of the main reasons why you use Specs, because Specs will, within 2 hits, it will hit really hard, much harder. It's 3 times its special attack versus 2 times if you Geo and then you attack. So it makes the 2 turns really powerful, which you want to have the Modest to maximize all the power from that Moonblast. So Gengar is my third choice because yeah, with the Giratina that is spreading the paralysis, allows it to use Hex. D-Bond will take out good threats, while Sludge Bomb can trap Xerneas, and Focus Blast is good for just hitting neutral stuff, like Tyranitar. Tyranitar becomes my primary E-Killer check with Foul Play, Thunder Wave, and it also allows you to set rocks. Very good. Arceus, standard E-Killer, running Ice Beam for Mega Ments. So overall, this is my team, and the reason I didn't bring this is that you might have noticed that it's extremely Zern week because I did not have time, or I did not have a slot to fit a Zern check-in, so Zern is actually overlooked in this team, and pretty much I was not ballsy enough to bring a Zern week team to BLT. So we can look at the other team and why I brought this one and the reasoning behind it. So, idea behind this team, so the two teams I wanted to bring this week was either the Double Specs offense or the Mega Chomp offense. I really wanted to experiment with Mega Chomp because the idea behind Mega Chomp, which is like the reason why it's not good in OU, despite its really big power, is that its speed tier is awful. But due to its speed tier and Ubers actually being quite good, because 170 attack is actually really good for Ubers. With Sand Force, it can actually get boosted a little bit more. So essentially, Megachomp is extremely good here, because of the fact that you will always be outspeeding base 90, which is like the primary, like the majority of the Uber's legendaries, like Mega or not Rayquaza, standard Xerneas like Geozern, Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, and that kind of stuff. So this is running enough speed to outspeed the primals, max speed primals, and Dialgas and such. Maxing out attack after that, and then defense to take E-speeds and such best. Shuca comes in next because I want to have Sandstream to activate the Sand Force here. And the most important thing is that Shuca gives a way to check E-Killer and Mega Ments reliably. So this set is the one that I normally run for Tar because this is a reliable way to check. EVs can be tweaked a little bit, but this is what I chose to bring. Yveltal here serves as a secondary Arceus check, but mainly as a Primal Groudon check because of these two being kind of Primal Groudon weak. Mainly Tar giving Primal Groudon like free switches. While Garchomp doesn't take it on too well, like it doesn't want to take Lava Plume burns. Can't switch in, so Yveltal is the primary one here. It also provides a taunt and a sucker, which is good against like Mega Gengar and such. Arceus is chosen as my Xerneas check of choice. Xerneas is always a problem in every single tier, but this set allows Arceus to double as a Zern check because of the EVs, but also because it's running Wisp, it can also be really good as like a balance / stall breaker, and also defogs for the team, which is quite nice. Then I kind of found that I had some trouble with Primal Ogre at this point, so Mega or normal Rayquaza out of Life Orb is probably the best primal killer, considering that it takes on both Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. And so with the two of those gone, if they decide to stand, because Dragon Ascent OHKOs unless it's heavily invested. Aqua Tail obviously OHKOs unless it's well, even if it is heavily invested, it OHKOs. And then AG was my choice for the last Pokemon because it gives me a good wall to deal with opposing fairies, Dialgas, dragons, just in general a good Wallmon. Turning this into really a two-threat offense, which is Ray and Chomp, and then Semi-Stall for the rest. But anyway, let's jump right into the replay here. So when looking at the enemy team, you obviously see the Cloyster, which is huge. Cloyster pretty much signifies that he is going for an HO build, which is so we're looking at Deoxys, so we want to get rocks up. DNC, Mega or Primal Groudon is going to be a problem. Looks like an offensive variant because the fact that he's running the DNC and the Cloyster. Yveltal is most likely defensive due to otherwise he'd be scared of E-Killer. And then E-Killer is most like when I would probably be surprised if that wasn't his form. So he goes straight into Primal Groudon here. I expect to Precipice Blades and switch out. Go to DNC. He sets up rocks on the DNC, which is pretty standard. So I go Toxic on the Primal Groudon switch as he goes for the Precipice Blades. I go Yveltal. He misses Stone Edge. Roost, and then I go AG on the Yveltal, and then switch back out to T-Tar here. Sorry, wait, let me. Okay. And then he U-turns on T-Tar, goes into Arceus. I missed the Rock Slide. And he goes for the Earthquake, which pops my Shuca, and I Thunder Wave here. And I go for the rocks, and he Earthquakes again. And he E-speeds, and I get the kill with Chomp. So he goes DNC and then doubles out to that thing, Yveltal. And then pretty much I had a lot of trouble killing the Yveltal, and here I make a couple misplays. I didn't realize that. Okay, so first of all here, that actually would have been a fine play, because if I went into Ray, and then I went here with Dragon Ascent, and then that would have killed. But that actually didn't kill. I ended up not killing at all. So that it turned out, and then here, wait. So I didn't kill here. Oh shit. So I didn't kill there, which was really bad. Because I was actually expecting with Adamant, I would do a little bit more. But the point is, right here, I was expecting him to go for the Sucker. But he doesn't end up going for Sucker. I could have went for another Dragon Ascent and got him really low. I go into Arceus. He roosts on my Wisp, which will be important that I have a Wisp up. So I don't run E-Speed, so he goes into Dio. And we pretty much just play cat and mouse. Oh wait. So we play cat and mouse, and then he gets Cloister in on AG, and I Toxic it, and then I pretty much just play cat and mouse with him again, and he just keeps smashing on my AG, and then I eventually will kill it with a Gyro, but I have to take a huge amount, which is extremely important for later in the game. So he comes in with Yveltal and Roosts on me, and he does absolutely 0 damage, but he goes into Mega DNC. I go for the Foul Play. This is huge. Oh, voice crack. This is huge, because if he didn't get this Toxic off, then this game would have been completely different, because the Toxic on Yveltal actually, you'll see, will play a huge role in my eventual downfall here. So essentially, right now, what I'm looking at is Arceus-Poison completely walls Yveltal. Yveltal completely walls Primal Groudon, and Aegislash completely walls DOA, and will trap it on a Psycho Boost. So yeah, we have to play pretty much really carefully, because DOA will OHKO Arceus, and Primal Groudon will OHKO Arceus, but Arceus is required to wall Yveltal. So I actually make a mistake here. So I expect him to not to double, or I was expecting him to go for Ice Beam there, but he doesn't end up going for Ice Beam, and then he ends up dying to the he leaves his Dio to die to AG. So he goes Yveltal, and I go to my Yveltal, and I am fighting a losing battle at this point, because of the fact that I don't have anything to do other than just sit there and die. So I died, but you know, there were 2 points where I got kind of outplayed, which is to say, here at the deal point, if I played this one better, it would have been a little bit better. And then I definitely misplayed the Rayquaza completely. I was pretty much on tilt after I missed the Stone Edge. If I had hit that Stone Edge, it would have been a completely different story, because that means that Ray KO'd at that point. And so I would get the KO on Yveltal with Ray, and then Ray pretty much cleans up here because it outspeeds and KOs Cloister After Rocks. It outspeeds and KOs Pidon. DNC has to come in multiple times, and it's at like 40% already, so it pretty much can't come in multiple times. And then it's like pretty much hard-walled by the full HP AG. And the only thing that can take it is Dio. And unless Dio is like full HP or Ray has a bunch of defense drops, then the E-Speed would have just knocked out Dio. So I made a couple misplays, a little bit of an unfortunate stone miss, but you know, who can really say where the match would have gone if I didn't get the stone misses. So yeah, with that we ended the week here though, and we won the last week, so we end up the week 5-2, or we end week 7 5-2, and we got the 3rd seed, which is important because we played the in my opinion, the easiest team out of the 4 teams that we could have played, which was the Clefables. So I'll see you guys next week for another BLT recap and analysis where I go into the semifinals.